Is homeschooling right for your family? And the best thing to do to answer that is really to answer some specific questions.
Right.
So Deborah's going to kind of lead us through some questions that if you and your family are considering homeschooling, what are some questions you should answer? So what's the first question if somebody is considering homeschooling and want to know, is it right for my family? What's the first question they should ask?
You just need to be honest with yourself of why you're considering homeschooling. Like, what are the reasons that bring you to, oh, this is alluring to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm really considering this. And then write it down. Write it down. So for us, it was things like spending time together. Like if you watched our first episode, you know that our first daughter was going to go off to school, and I was like, man, I'm really having fun with her. I'm sure I can teach her whatever they're going to learn in pre-K. And so it was just spending time together. Another one for us that became a reckoning force was scheduling freedom.
Yes.
We wanted to be in charge of our schedule, and then travel started to come in with that. So it's just knowing your why. Why is this even coming to your, like thinking about it, and what is alluring to you? And some of those things you'll write it down, like, they're good reasons. They're not reasons that maybe are going to stick.
Right.
You know.
And you want to connect with the why that in those hard days.
Yes.
That is the thing that you really go back to say, this is why we are doing this.
Because you're gonna have some rough days. That's just like, you're gonna have rough days no matter
Regardless.
what system you're gonna do, right?
Exactly.
So you put them in traditional school or you are going to homeschool them. There's going to be rough days. You just need to know when the rough days come that we're not gonna quit.
Yep.
Also, side note, we always told ourselves we never get to quit in the middle of the year.
Yes.
So
you never quit in the middle.
we just kept it. That's for us.
Yes.
You don't have to adopt that, but that did help me personally on some days when I was like, I don't think this is working. This is not a good day. Or like maybe there was a couple days stacked up.
Yeah.
That happens.
And there can be multiple reasons why. So let's just say that. Like there could be some,
there can be like
more
learning
surface
disabilities.
Yeah, surface
there
level.
Can be
and then there's
allergies.
deep.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons people homeschool. It's rarely because we just don't want to participate in our local school. There's always a deeper reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So we give a lot of our reasons why actually in a previous video. So you can go check that out. If you're on our email list, you actually received that today as well. But you can go back. It's like probably 2 or 3 videos back, maybe 2 videos back. Yeah, the 6 honest reasons we started and continue homeschooling. Yeah. So you can go check that out.
That's our why.
Yeah, so know your why. Super important. On the good days and the bad days, know why you're doing what you're doing. All right, so what's the second question?
Second one is, can you afford to homeschool? This is a question we get, and most people are talking about money. Can we afford to homeschool? But I also want to stick in the aspect of time, because time is a commodity that you're going to need to have. So can you afford to homeschool? Of course you can afford to homeschool. There's free homeschool curriculum everywhere. Public school online is K-12. You could just online school at home, but you're still in the public school system. That's a free option for you. There's also tons of free options like ambleside.com. Easy Peasy is like a preschool early ed. I know The Good and the Beautiful. You can buy the books, or you can just go on their site and like print off. So if money is something that you're like, I'm not sure about this, you can always find things online to help you. And honestly, ChatGPT has become a wonderful resource gatherer to put things together. YouTube videos, if you're like into government, or I'm just saying, there's so many options that if you can't afford a homeschool curriculum, that's okay. Also, Facebook Marketplace is where I pull from a lot.
Yeah.
I borrow from friends. There's
Did you
there's
say the
so
library?
many things. Yeah, the library.
Yes.
Our library is so cool. So I just go in there and they're like, hey.
Shout out to Lori. If you watch this, great job, Lori. We appreciate you very much and everything you're doing.
Such a great library section for our homeschool. And it's very like, hey, use it as long as you need it. Bring it back or bring us your other things. It's like, it's super cool.
Yeah.
So the other thing I'll talk to is time. And I think a common misconception for homeschoolers is that we're home. And we're not home. We're not home a lot because we are experience learning. We're out doing the thing. We're in the nature schools. We're in the libraries. We're in the
national parks. Hearing
We're
ranger
traveling.
talks.
We're over at the Washington Pavilion in Sioux Falls, taking advantage of what they have offered for classes. We're gone a lot. And the time factor is sometimes to learn math facts, you just have to be home drilling math facts.
Yes.
There are times you have to be
Yep.
home. And if you don't have that time component put into your schedule, then maybe you don't have enough time, because children do need to be taught. There is also a misconception that when we say we're homeschooling, it's like we don't educate our children at all. We are the educators of our children, and we do take it really seriously. So you do have to take time to educate your children with what you want them to know, and we'll talk more about that later. But it's time. Time is the commodity. Money is the commodity. Do you have, can you afford to homeschool?
Yeah, and money, because of the so many different ways you can put curriculum together, resource curriculum, like money, honestly, should really not be. However, time is probably the one where it just has to become a priority. Like if you are going to homeschool, it doesn't mean, we've got a friend who is a professional photographer, and she's decided to homeschool. Well, she also, outside of photography, has another part-time job. So it's like, you've just got to be really good with your time. You can still homeschool even in that situation. You just have to really define, okay, what does this look like? Make sure that your husband is on the same page, because there's tag teams. You got to make sure that you're on the same page and you're working this together when it comes to both money and time. But if you really want to do it, it really just comes down to priority.
It is.
If
you want to do it, you'll figure out how to do it.
Exactly. It's kind of that saying of, if the why is important enough, the how doesn't matter.
There you go.
We will figure it out. So super important. Okay, what's the next question?
You kind of talked about it. Who's going to be the primary teacher? Deciding, is mom going to be the primary teacher? Is dad going to be the primary teacher? Are we using co-ops? Are we using online schools, hybrid schools? You just talked about, it's just leaving me right now. Anyway, dual enrollment. That's another, I highly love dual enrollment. And that is something that we have used for our kids, and that has been part of our teaching capability and what we've brought in for our schooling.
Yeah, and it's one of those things for you. I remember when we first started looking into it, it was, we want our kids to have teachers other than us.
Yes.
And that had already happened because we were involved in co-ops and all those things.
Circles.
We'll talk more about socialization, so we won't go into that, the myth of lack of socialization. But we also, especially as we're preparing them to go off to college, the beautiful thing about dual enrollment is that they're going to college getting both high school and college credit for it.
That
as
transfers
well as
into a college.
Yes, they have a college professor that they're working with. They have other classmates depending on the course that they're interacting with.
Yes.
And it's just a great experience. So we thought we'd share, obviously the sponsor of today's video is Northwest Iowa Community College, which again, we love their sponsorship. But even more importantly than the sponsorship is the partnership with them and our family. So we thought we would share just a testimonial from Olivia. This testimonial's about a year-ish plus old. She actually has now gone off to college in Florida and finished up her freshman year. And NCC gave her a lot of the tools that she needed to be successful when she went off to kind of that next level of school for her. And she's done really, really well. So here's not just our words, but here's actually Olivia's words and her thoughts on NCC.
Hey there, I'm Olivia Gibson. I'm a homeschooled senior in high school, currently taking college classes at Northwest Iowa Community College. Let me tell you, it has been such a great experience. I wanted to get a jump start on my college education, and NCC has been the perfect fit. One of the best things about NCC is how supportive the instructors are. They don't just assign work and leave me on my own. They take the time to make sure I understand the assignments. They're incredibly patient and willing to help me whenever I need it, which makes learning feel way more manageable and even enjoyable. Knowing they're always there to lend a helping hand keeps me motivated and excited to succeed. And I cannot forget to mention the flexibility. Being able to work at my own pace while balancing homeschooling and traveling is a huge deal for me. NCC has a sense of understanding that everyone has their own schedule, and they make it easy to fit school into my life and not the other way around. The community at NCC is another big plus. Even though I'm still in high school, I have felt nothing but welcomed. Everyone's so friendly and open, which has made it easier to connect with my classmates and my instructors. My time at NCC has given me so much confidence and a solid foundation for the future. So if you're ready to get a jump start on your success story, I highly encourage you to check out NCC.
We hope you enjoyed that little video testimonial from Olivia on her experience with NCC. If you're interested in NCC, and again, you don't have to be from Iowa to attend Northwest Iowa Community College. They have people that come from all over the country to attend college there. You can check out more on them. Visit ronanddeborah.com/NCC. It'll take you to a page. You'll see us on that page. You can request information, and someone from their team would be happy to reach out to you and talk about how you could get the benefit of dual enrollment through NCC. So definitely check that out.
Okay, one more thing about who's going to educate. We haven't used hybrid schools, but they're becoming rather big, like a big thing. And if you don't know what a hybrid school is, it's like a couple of subjects that you take your kids and you take them to a school with other homeschoolers, but it has a teacher, and it's like, you want to think it's a co-op, but it's not a co-op because it's not a collaborative. It's like literally a school. You're paying some tuition, but they're only teaching certain subjects, and then you have your kids for the rest of the day. So it's like a hybrid of homeschool and traditional school, which is becoming much bigger, especially in larger cities. We're not in a larger city, so we don't take advantage of that. And then the other thing I would say about who's going to be teaching is just you and your husband, significant other, however this goes, should be on the same page, because it's so important to be in agreement on how you educate your kids, period.
Yes, yes. And we have counseled and told multiple people, if the husband or even the wife is not on board with this, you should pause. Like, don't steamroll ahead, because there are going to be seasons, there's the peaks and the valleys of anything that you do that's worth it. And there's going to be times where you need somebody to pick you up, and there's going to be times where you need to do that for somebody else. So anyway, super important. All right, next question.
What are your state requirements?
Yes.
Every state has different requirements for homeschooling, and an easy place to just go and find exactly what your specific state's requirements are is HSLDA.com. Just you click on your state, it's going to put it all down, give it to you real easy. Also, every state has a homeschool organization. Ours is called, I just played Homeschool Iowa. I was like, we're in that. Homeschool Iowa. So that is helpful as well. They have websites. You just go figure out what you need. Some states have more requirements than others. Over here in the land of Iowa, and I know South Dakota, it's pretty free. There are a couple of requirements, but not like some of my friends in Minnesota or Pennsylvania do a lot more. And it's all doable. It's just that every state has different requirements, and you just need to figure out what those are.
And that's kind of comes back to that, like, to determine if it's right for your family, you need to know what is expected. Yeah, what is expected. So definitely check out HSLDA. Great resource. So we're not a member of HSLDA. You can, as a homeschooler, actually go and sign up. So if somebody ever shows up at your door, they actually represent you legally, and they know the homeschool laws and all of those sorts of things. I've had some really great interactions with attorneys over there, more on the business side, not actually utilizing their services, but they've got all of the legal requirements for all the states. Go check it out, HSLDA. Okay, what's the next question?
The next question is about socialization, and how are you going to address socialization in your homeschool? And I think this is a huge concern of everyone else. It was never actually a huge concern for me, because I already had our girls going to the library for story time. I was already looking into co-ops. We attend church, and so there's classes, and there's youth groups, and there's Socialization is just being with people. So think of all the different ways that you could community with people and just do that. I wrote some down here: 4-H, swim team or any athletic team, community theater, choirs, work.
Yeah.
Our girls work at a grocery store, and there's a lot of socialization at a grocery store. They come home and they're like, I don't want to talk anymore. I've talked all day. So I think I said church youth group, book clubs. There are so many. Then there's just like play dates. Like you're just going to start finding other homeschoolers, and you're just going to like hanging out with each other because you start doing life similarly-ish enough that you have this common place, and you'll, again, to the point of homeschoolers are never home, you will have to be like, no, we actually can't go do that socialization thing because we have to be home today. We have to do some school.
Yes. If your children are not socially adept, it's not because you homeschooled. It's because of the choices you made as a family, really, to not go out and be with people and put them in environments to be social. So we talk a lot about that in the 6 honest reasons, but that is one of the biggest myths when it comes to homeschooling. You're going to, the realities of this, your kids, and we said this in the last video, like your kids are going to be weird because you're weird, not because you homeschool.
Yeah.
So the method you choose to educate your child does not dictate that, but make sure you do have a plan for what you're going to do. I know co-ops early on were big for us. And even though we stopped some of the co-ops, we're still really good friends with the people that we met in those co-ops. That you just got together with one of the moms this morning. Tomorrow, you guys are going to a swim park with another. Yeah, so endless opportunities.
You'll find your people
to connect. Absolutely. Okay, next question. Got a few more left.
Yes. Are you willing to be flexible in homeschool and life? And this maybe is just from if you are a type A person and you love your planner and you love to mark up like first at 9 o'clock, we're all going to gather at the breakfast table, and then we're going to do our opening session. And then at 9:15, we're going to, some people love to spend their day precisely in certain ways. And if that gets messed up, if the plan goes awry, it's not good. And so I just want to put out there, the plan's going to go awry. And you have to be okay with just rolling with it. Someone's going to get sick. And sometimes it's you, Mom.
Yeah.
When Mom gets sick, no one knows what to do. And you're like, I just feel so awful. I don't want to read from history today. I don't want to do math today. It is a vacation day today, okay? Like, what are we doing? All right, it's independent work today. Yes. Whatever you can normally do when you're independent, like your cursive or your math facts this is what we're doing. So you need to be able to be flexible and think about being flexible. Holidays are another big one. Like right now we have a college kid who will come home, and I know when college lets out and she comes home, no one wants to school at our house. Even if I'm like, no, we're schooling until
she's done with school. We should be done with school too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And they're like, but Olivia's home. And then it's like that whole time that she's home, well, why would we return to school? And I'm like, well, it is the second week of January, and this is when we normally return to school. Come on, she's only home. So Grandma and Grandpa come over. We don't want to school and Grandma and Grandpa come over. You need a plan, and then you need like a alternate plan, and then you need like an alternate plan.
Contingency plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flexibility. Do not flexible yourself out of you never do school.
Yeah.
This can also happen. If you're going to homeschool, you actually do have to complete the year of studies.
Yes.
Stay to it, right? So
really, that comes down to managing expectations, right?
Again, back to that.
Yes. So it's like you're not trying to reinvent the brick and mortar school in your home. I remember we had to talk through some of that, and we had some very wise homeschool moms that were like, you don't have to reinvent what they're doing down the street. This is homeschool. You have freedoms to make choices that's right for your family.
Well, and you don't have 26 children. You have 2 children. At that point, it was 2. You have 2 children.
There are days those 2 kids felt like 26 though. But yes,
that's right.
Yes. So yes, adapt and overcome. Okay, next question.
Next question, are you willing to learn alongside your child? And this just comes from a heart of loving a second education, and I didn't know I was getting a second education. And by that, I mean, I read along with my girls. I do math along with they're going to have questions, and you're going to be in it, and you don't have to have all the answers. You're not going to have all the answers, but like, you're the guide, you're the coach. You're like, well, let's figure it out. Well, let's go to YouTube and let's go to Google. We're going to Google this, or we're going to we use some Matthew C stuff, and let's go to Demi Learning and let's figure this out together, and we'll work the problem together, and we'll take time. So it's not like, laying the curriculum out in front of them and be like, this is your stuff and this is your stuff. It's like, you're still in it. Even by high school, when I'm a big proponent of we're independent learners, because after high school is college, and then like, I'm really not there, so I need to get you ready for it. Even then, you're still guiding, you're still mentoring, you're still coaching. You might not be like, okay, let's read your history together today, but you're like, okay, let me check up on what's going on. What are your goals for today? And how are we moving this forward? And so that's just a willingness to be in it with your kids.
Yes. I remember when you told me that idea of a second education, I was like, oh yeah, because you do. You're relearning things, and sometimes you're learning it for the first time because you didn't really learn it the first time when you were in third grade. So
I know.
Anyway,
I'll be reading through ancient history, and I'll be like, oh, did you guys know that connected with this other thing? And they're like glazed over, and I'm all like, oh, I'm the only one really loving this. But that's okay. I'm loving it.
That's right. All right, so the last question that you should ask yourself, and I think this is maybe a question that might be a little surprising, but I think honestly is probably one of the most important questions. Besides your why, this is probably one of the most important questions you need to ask and be honest with yourself.
And that question is, are you willing to be misunderstood? And that probably just comes from years of us figuring out how misunderstood we have felt at times. And what do you do with this? Everyone has an opinion, and lots of people will voice their opinion to you when they find out that you homeschool. The most I got it was when the girls were younger, and I would be going through a store, like during the school day. Are you guys
after
off
co-op.
school? Yeah. Are you guys off school? No. Who's your teacher? That's my favorite. Who's your teacher? My mom. Do you like your teacher this year? Yes. Like they can't say no. But when someone would give their opinion in a negative manner, and it was probably 9 times out of 10 about socializing, my patented response just started to be, thank you. Because just because they give their opinion to me, it doesn't change my opinion. It doesn't change why we do what we do. We would go back to our why. This is why we're doing this. And also, no one's responsible for your family but you. You're the one who is responsible for their education, no matter what you choose, traditional school, private school, hybrid school, homeschool. You're the one responsible for your kids' education. And so I just started to take it's a misunderstanding, because now when people meet our children, it's all compliments. Oh, your girls are so well spoken. Our photographer in Marco Island, when she told me that was like the biggest compliment, because that is one of our hopes.
Yeah.
That's one of our hopes, is that our girls will not be like timid or shy, or just be able to speak up and carry a conversation with critical thinking, and not just be like, yes, no, like kids that don't think for themselves or don't know how to carry on a conversation with intelligence. And so now that they're older, we don't hear it as much like we did before. We'll hear it in different ways, and we've probably flexed that muscle enough.
And I think honestly, since we've started traveling the last couple of years, it's mostly affirmative. Like when we're at national parks and we're at a ranger lecture about sequoias, or we're on the coast. I forget where we were going to see the tree of life. Was that in? Anyway.
That was Olympic.
So yeah, I mean, like most of these people are like, you guys are doing it the right way. And you have to be careful, right? Like at the end of the day, our goal is to stay level. So not to go the high highs or the low lows, but just stay in the level, kind of mindset wise.
Same response.
Yes, thank you.
To the negative, thank you.
Yeah.
To the positive, thank you.
Yeah.
And you know your family, you know why you're doing what you're doing, you know if they're thriving at it, or you know your own, like, oh, this has been a really rough year. That's okay.
Or a rough season of the year, all the above.
Return to your why, and just know no one's affirmation, confirmation, or questioning you. It doesn't ruffle the feathers. It's just their opinion. They can voice their opinion, and then you're the one who does the work.
Yes, and as your child's parent, there's no one that desires for them to be successful
more than
and
you.
Faithful in this world more than you. So regardless, and we said this in our last homeschool related video, that regardless of how you educate your child, number one, you're responsible, and you need to take that responsibility seriously. And just understand, regardless of what you choose, somebody is going to have an opinion, and you can feel very much misunderstood. So and it's easy to point out the strangers at a grocery store, but sometimes it's the people closest to you.
And we have not had that.
We have not had that a lot, but we have had some close friends that have asked specific questions. It's more about, like, are you guys against certain
against
things?
Are you against? No, we're
Are
not
you against the public school? Not at all, actually. We just don't feel like that's
homeschooling.
and we have that conversation every year. So anyway, man, it's amazing the tricks ultimately the devil can play in our own flesh and our own insecurity can play on us. But just know there's no one out there that cares more about your kids and their success in education more than you do. So it's your responsibility. Take it on. Do what you feel is best for your kids, and you'll never regret it. We're very grateful we've chosen the route that we have, and God's blessed us very much in that process. So.
Yeah. So I think that is like a encapsulation of be okay with being misunderstood.
Yes, absolutely.
And know that your people won't misunderstand you. The people that you do community with, the people that you actually do life with.
Yes, absolutely.
You're in it with them.
Yep. And it's also okay to take on when people ask you questions, if they're coming from a sincere heart, to let it sharpen you. So that could be a different conversation. But the point of, are you willing to be misunderstood? And those are some really important questions that you should strongly consider before you jump into homeschooling. It is a commitment. It is a very large commitment. It is not a commitment that you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day, frustrated at a teacher, and just be like, I'm done. We're homeschooling our kids. You need to know what you're committing to.
Yeah.
And I think these questions will help hopefully surface that commitment level so you can then make the decision. We've loved it. We've never regretted it.
We've loved most of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenging days. But again, we don't need easy. We just need worth it, and it's 100% worth it. Again, lastly, just a massive thank you to our sponsor, Northwest Iowa Community College. Like I said, they're the sponsor of our adventure videos, as well as this homeschool series that we're producing. But even more importantly than that, they've been an invaluable partner in our homeschool. So we've had multiple questions regarding teaching higher level courses. And I'll tell you, having your child be able to take one course and get the high school credit for their transcript, as well as transferring that credit into college, it's been amazing. And I honestly, I was kind of surprised. I knew the college that Olivia wanted to go to, and they do not accept
They're
credits.
A little persnickety.
Yes, do not accept credits from a lot of colleges, and they accepted the credits that she took. So very grateful for NCC. And here's our testimonial. We shared Olivia's from the student perspective, but here's our testimonial on just how grateful we are for NCC. And if you do want to learn more about NCC, again, ronanddeborah.com/NCC.
Hi there, we're Ron and Deborah Gibson. As a homeschooling family of 5, we're always looking for the best opportunities for our kids. That's why we are so excited to share how Northwest Iowa Community College has been a huge blessing for us.
Our daughter Olivia is dual enrolled at NCC, which means she's taking one course and getting both high school and college credit. It's been amazing. Homeschooling is all about flexibility and a personalized approach, and NCC truly provides that. Olivia takes online college courses, fits them seamlessly into her routine, and still has plenty of time to pursue her interests.
NCC really gets homeschoolers. They offer over 50 programs, everything from healthcare to business, technology, and even the trades. With flexible options like online classes and part-time schedules, Olivia can learn at her own pace while earning college credits.
The best part? It's affordable. Homeschooling can stretch a budget, but NCC offers affordable options, making higher education accessible. Olivia's instructors and the NCC student community have been so supportive.
Ranked the #1 online community college in the nation and #2 for career outcomes, NCC isn't just a good option, it's a proven one. Olivia is getting an education that's setting her up for success, and as parents, we couldn't be happier.
Ready to start your success story? If you're a homeschooling family looking for the next step, we highly recommend NCC. Request more information today to learn how they can help your family just like they helped ours.
Thanks for letting us share our story, and a big thank you to NCC for being such an incredible partner in our homeschooling journey.